thanks for joining me. Preserving one's culture is the greatest asset for younger generation, and that is why we are taking you right down now to the Balondo people to discover what they keep as culture and cultural heritage, how they want the younger generation to valorize this culture. But first, identity. Who is a Balondo person? Who is an Orocko person? Are Balondo people Orocko people, or is an Orocko man a Balondo man? It's a problem of identity, and that is why I have 4 youths here from Balondo to tell me what they have about culture and who is a Balondo person. But first, I have 2 guests here with me on set to talk about their culture. I have Iyasa Ernest, who will be talking to us about Balondo culture. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir. I must say it's a pleasure for me to be here today to portray my culture. I am Ernest Iyasa Tata, a youth from Balondo, precisely from Elwani. I am somebody who loves my culture very much and want my cultural heritage to be kept for generations to come. And I want to thank you again for having me here.
Thank you very much, Tata Iyasa Ernest, for honoring our invitation. I have another beautiful lady here with me from the Balondo clan. She will be talking to me about their culture. Hello and welcome to the program.
Hello. Thank you very much for having me here. I am Iya Fembe Norinda, originally from Ekondo Titi. I'm very much happy to be here. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. But we'll be talking about all this, about identification and the valorization of the Balondo culture and who is a Balondo person. But just before this breather, when we come back, then we'll begin with the question and answer of who is a Balondo man and maybe the traditional dancings from their gastronomy and their cultural heritage. Stay tuned.
Good morning, class. Here are important facts about Balondo. Balondo civilization was born in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Balondo only identified themselves as Balondo with the general name of Balondo Bakunja and Efut Balondo in Nigeria. The Balondo Bananga and Diko are not Balondo people. They don't even exist. Balondo do not serve others, but have influenced most southwest Cameroon cultures. Balondo are sedentary coastal people who do not settle on other people's land. They eat plenty of fish, ikpan, pamacho, sarara or pepper soup, and mendo or fufu. Balondo follow the creationist philosophy of Morimo and Ndongore. That's all for today, and for your assignment, please visit Balondo Civilization Wikipedia as well as Balondo Civilization website. Thank you.
Welcome back. We're talking about the Balondo clan, and of course, like I earlier mentioned, we have youth here on set with me, and it's very important because talking about cultural diversity and the preservation of our cultural heritage. Now we are talking about the Balondo clan. Are Balondo Bananga and Diko Balondo people? Yeah.
No, they are not. They were invented by the Ngolo Balue Orocko. They wanted people to actually believe that the Balondos are the Orocko people.
All right, now tell me, you said they are not, but are the Balondo people actually preserving their culture?
Yes, of course we are. For example, you can see from the language we speak, from our traditional dances, from our traditional meals, for example, the ekpang. Yeah, we are actually preserving our culture.
We now talk about now some traditional heritage, which is traditional dances. We have the likes of the Ekpe, the Malay, the Mosembe, the Amekoko. They are all Balondo dancers, but are they also Orocko dancers?
No, these dances are not actually the Orocko dances. They are strictly of the Balondo origins. As you can see, that is why we want to portray the image here that Balondos are not Orocko.
Thank you very, very much, Tata Ernest. And definitely we have Ekpe in the Manu division where they have other traditional dances, and even near Calabar corridor we have those who practice Ekpe. So will you tell me other tribes are also practicing Ekpe and other form of dances?
Yes, as I've rightly said, this Ekpe dance is being practiced by other tribes like the Bayangi from the Manu division and some Nigerians at the Calabar. So you see, but I want to tell you that this Ekpe dance is strictly of the Balondo origin.
Now let's go to our archives and get one of these intricately beautiful pieces of talking about Balondo history, expatiating on the culture of the Balondo people. Let's go and get who is a Balondo person and their history. Maybe after this report, you get to know an understanding of who a Balondo person is. More importantly, when we have our next two guests on stage.
In a bid to revive their culture, the Balondo Cultural Heritage, a non-political organization, is poised in promoting the cultural literacy amongst the Balondo kids.
With the coming of the Western civilization, they have abandoned their Balondo culture. So the BCH, we are trying to bring the Balondo people back closer to their culture, to know their roots.
BCH now has come strongly to teach them how to speak not only their language, but also know how to cook their traditional meals.
To achieve this, the organization has made a number of publications and intends to build a free Balondo primary school in Ekondo Titi, among other things.
A virtual class is a platform with the social media to help connect the Balondo people.
And today we are here again to launch a branch in Yaoundé.
According to the founder of BCH, Dr. Aja Oho, the Balondoba Konjas are not a tribe, they are a civilization.
You're welcome back, and definitely you get some insight of who is a Balondo person and who is an Orocko person. Joining me on set now is another two beautiful Balondo youths that hold their culture in high esteem. I have here with me the first person who will be talking about who is a Balondo man, where they migrated from, and all of that history that you want to know. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, thank you. Actually, I'm happy, very happy to be here. Here at Noango, precisely from Bongo Balondo, and I'm in Morondo Pa, and I'm here to talk about the Balondo people and to portray my culture.
And I have another guest on set who will be talking about the Balondo culture, what you need to know about their heritage. Welcome to the program.
Hello, I'm Lovely Makane from Ekondo Titi, and I'm here to differentiate between the Orocko people and the Balondo people.
All right, thank you very much, ladies, for honoring an invitation. Now, let's go to you to talk about the Balondo people. The Balondo migrated from Congo to Akwa or Calabar, modern-day Nigeria, and then Cameroon. So, did they voyage together with the Orocko?
No, they did not voyage together. It was just the Balondo people who did the voyage.
From time immemorial, we have been getting about Orocko Balondo. So now tell me, what are some of the activities you people do to keep this heritage?
Some of the activities that we carry out is our language, our traditional dance, and our traditional meals. For example, we have the Balondo people have ekpang as their traditional meal, while for the Orocko they have just mekere and donga, which is plantain and pepper.
Now, still talking about migration, the Balondo people are set to live along the coastal river banks of Congo, then to Calabar, then they migrated to the southwest region of Cameroon. What about the Orocko people?
Yes, for the Orocko people, they inhabit along the Rumpi Hills and around Kupe Maningumba. Like you already said, the Balondo people settled around the coast of the southwest region. So we do not settle along the hills of the Kupe Maningumba. We are along the coast of the southwest region, and we eat a lot of fish.
All right, thank you very much for that brilliant answer. Now we talk about another very important thing to the next person here with me. We're talking about inhabitat. They inhabited the Rumpi Hills and the Kupe Maningumba Hills, and definitely they settled around the hilltop area. So did the Balondo people participate in the fabrication of the Orocko people?
No, because they were not informed and they were not interested during this fabrication.
They were not informed, they were not interested during this fabrication. But how come we have them side by side? Is there any further link of cultural heritage?
For Balondo, it's only Balondo cultural heritage. There is no Orocko cultural heritage.
So they preserve just their vernacular, their food, their dance, their gastronomy, which comprises of so many things that we have just learned from one of your colleagues here who said they have a peculiarity of fish. So is this cultural heritage dear just to the Balondo people and not to the Orocko?
Yes, just to the Balondo people, because the cultural heritage is for the Balondos.
Now we're going to talk about some of the traditional dances in Balondo, and one of them is the Nganda dance. I'm definitely going to through you this day to watch what it's all about. And there's a report for that. We're going back to our archives to get amazing reports when it comes to the Nkanda dance, valorizing culture, and first preserving it for the younger generation of the Balondo people.
The Nganda Dance Group is a common heritage of the Balondo people.
The Nganda Dance Group is a creation of the Balondo man. The Balondo man originated from Congo Democratic. We had a stop at Calabar in Nigeria. Then we had to cross overside to land in the forest of Ilo, where we entered through a certain river called Makungwe River. And the downer part of that river is where we have our very powerful spiritual temple called Ndongore. In those days of informal education, before his son became a man, he was intuited through the Ngomba house of what we call Etana. In that Etana, we have 7 stages. We have Okbo, we have Osobonene, we have Ku, we have Nganda. And the PhD level is like the Isong. That Isong, you saw 2 masquerades carrying some carving accurate behind them. Those are the landlords. These are people whom, if they frown with you, you will know that yes, eclipse has come.
The Bakonjas consider the Nganda dance as the identity and emblem of the Balondo cultural drive, with the leading and dreaded masquerade called Mokongo, a representation of the lion.
The Nganda dance group is the most animated. You see the flare on the neck. That flare on the neck is the male of the wildest cat, which is a lion. So it represents royalty. It takes care of the palace. No chief is coronated in Balondo land who is not a member of this sacred court. And so these people have washed their hands clean. They have graduated. They wine and dine with kings and queens. They sit on the same table with the kings. They are lawmakers.
As the highest court in the land, equally referred to as Iswanganda, the territorial and spiritual warriors are seen in public only on particular occasions.
Today, we are welcoming the Prime Minister and Head of Government, who stems from Dian Division and who is a member of the Nganda Dance Group, who is a member of the Isong, because he is sandwiched by Balondo villages and is a member of that court. So we could not hear that such a personality has come to Southwest region, is about to go back to Yaoundé without us giving him that befitting welcome. He himself is very convinced that his people have accepted him because it is the highest court in our land. If there is any ceremony in our land and you don't see the Nganda dance room, it means it is not animating.
However, the temple of Nyangbe, which stems from the Balondo people, equally incorporates women in the court.
Women have the highest court in the village or their traditional society, which they call Mosembe. And this level is Ebongo, which is called Ebonga Mosembe. That is where there is a union between Nganda and Mosembe. When the women of Mosembe are out and when they are manifesting their Ebonga Mosembe, men who are title holders of the Nganda dance group and Isong come and join with them to give them the support, because somewhere, somehow, they have a union.
Take it or leave it, the Balondos hold their own. They are not a tribe, they are a civilization.
You're welcome back, and definitely you learned something when it comes to the Nganda dance. Preserving culture and valorizing culture is what the Balondo people do. And now to my panelists at the right, we're going to talk about some other very important thing here. This one talking about the traditional meal, that is the gastronomy of the Balondo people. We know that the Balondo people have dishes like ekwang, the sarara, and the pama chop. So now tell me, what are the Orocko people eating?
The Orocko people eat mukere nandonga, and ekpang is mainly for the Balondo, not Orocko. Many people got confused because some said it's Orocko meal, which is the Balondo meal, and many pronounce it as ekwang and not ekpang. The repronunciation there is ekpang.
What's some of the recipe of ekpang as a Balondo woman?
Okay, I'll just give the various items you need to use to prepare ekpang. For instance, you use cocoa, that's white or red, and you use red cocoa leaves, and country onion, which is, we call it ngakanga in Balondo, and crayfish, and mosobo fish, and also you use red oil, which is, we call it in Balondo moswa, and you use your grater. A lot of people use onion, tomato, and garlic, which we don't use it in to prepare our traditional meal. So when it comes to Balondo people, they don't use okra, they don't use tomato and onion to prepare ekpang.
It's actually very important to differentiate between these traditional meals and how to cook it, because you have people who even put unimaginable things inside of ekpang just because they don't know how to prepare it and because they are not Balondo. So we shall be talking about the gastronomy of the Balondo people now with one of the people who masters the Balondo culture, Dr. Aja Oru. He will be telling us about the Balondo cuisine, but not only ekpang, because there are other traditional meals. So right now we'll meet him to maybe give some recipe to someone who is from Akwaya, someone who is from Kupe Maningoba, or maybe someone who is from Ajakayogonzip who has never known about ekpang, to get some recipe on how to prepare this traditional meal. Hello, doctor.
Ekpang is food, but more importantly, the identity or feeling of belonging to a community based on what they eat. That is to say, it is part of Balondo person's self-conception and self-perception and is related distinctively to the Balondo culture.
I am from the Balondo Bakonja homeland. My father is from Ekondo Nene and my mother is from Kumbe. I am a true son of the Balondo Bakonja homeland. The purpose of this video production is to tell the story or narrative of one of the most delicious staple diet on planet Earth called ekpang. It's a fact that Balondo ekpang has a history. It was born in the Republic of Congo, where our ancestors settled from the day Seloba created them. And then for some reason they had to relocate to Calabar, Akwa Akbar, which is Calabar today. And after a while they have to move again to our present day location in the coastal southwest region. In Calabar, they shared their ekpang with the Effiks. When they came to the southwest region, they also shared some cultural values, including their ekpang with the Bakweri people. Very good, honest, just decent people, very proud. They were so moved by the richness of our culture and the good behavior, generosity, that they proclaim in their language that we were one and the same people. If I'm allowed to translate, they said in Balondo, put in Balondo, Morondo na Mokwere Motomoko, that Balondo and Bakweri are intricately woven into one cultural fabric, that they are the same people.
In fact, ekpang is a Balondo Bakonja staple since time immemorial. In this context, it is a pure psychological terms, Balondo's gastronomical identity. However, they have never ever been identified by this food identity type. Instead, they are constantly being ignorantly ridiculed by all and sundry as eaters of Mokere Nandunga.
Psychological is something more troubling. It is a result of a stigma splashed on the Morondo bar. Everywhere the Balondo man goes, oh, Mokere Nandunga. I fought hard growing up to deflect those stereotypical blows to no avail. And the Balondo children I interviewed in the course of my doing research also are still going through the same motions. Please stop it. When you finish watching this video, please reset your mindset to reflect the fact that Balondo own ekpang Actually, the people who eat Mokaran and Donga are our neighbors on the hills, the Bangwe, in a constituted subdivision, the Ngolo, Balwe, Ekombe, Mbonge, Mbande, and Bakundu. These two are in Meme division. And wherever they went, they would, they wouldn't hide it. They would just eat their plantain and pepper. They're very proud of it. I give them kudos for that. Yeah, and despite the fact that we show them how to eat eggplant, they still don't know how to eat it. They just eat plantain and pepper. So the Bangwe are the people who actually eat plantain and pepper. They used our name for 300 years and have now stopped using it. They now call themselves Orocko. So please, Orocko are the people who eat plantain and pepper, not Balondo. We own Ekbang. We own it. And to show that we do, we can broaden the concept. For example, if we want to eat Ekbang cooked specially with core or snails, we call it Ekbang core. Cooked with mushroom, we call it Ekbang iyonjo. Cooked with fresh crayfish, we call it, or shrimp, we call it Ekbang meso, and so forth. So, tell me what Cameroonian people do the same, except for the owners of Ekbang, the Balondo Bakonja.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for giving an explanation about the gastronomy of the Balondo people. And of course, it's on this note that we come to the end of this program. But just to remind you that it's going to be a shame if after this program you cannot identify between a Balondo person and of course an Orocko person. You've gotten some of the clarification. They settled around the river banks of Calabar right down to Congo, then moved to Cameroon, to the southwest region of Cameroon, still along the river banks. And the Orocko people are still inhabiting around the Rumpi Hills and the Kupe Maninguba Hills. So that's one of the peculiarity of the Balondo man and the Orocko person. With an amazing guest on set, it could only be an amazing program too. So thank you very, very much, guys, for honoring our invitation.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bye bye.